Welcome to a nutty adventure exploring personal growth and wellness, breaking down the stigma around mental health along the way. Let's dive in because now it's time to show me your nuts.
All right. It's that time again, people. It is Thursday morning and my coffee's almost gone, so it must be time for Show Me Your Nuts. How is everybody this morning? I've got the comments running already. Ollie, good morning, Ollie. Good to see you. Thank you for coming by. Today's show is going to be amazing. And I know this because I got somebody in the green room waiting to come on. So today we are going to talk about small changes that have big impact. How we can take little things and turn them into, or how they turn into big things for us. I have a guest, someone who has become I met through a coaching platform and has become a good friend. I've got Alita Van Zyl today. She is the coach and founder of AZ Ingenuity. And AZ, besides being her initials, I think is really cool because the concept of A to Z and ingenuity totally fits my dear friend Alita. She is ingenious in many different areas. Just when I thought I had found out a lot about her, I find out 10 more things. And so you guys are going to meet her in just a little bit. And we're going to dive into those little tiny tweaks that change everything about our world. It doesn't have to be big things that change your world. A little bitty thing can change everything. And there's lots of different ways to go about that. And we're going to dive into a variety of them. First, before I forget it this morning, please remember to like. Well, I was supposed to have said, please remember to like, share, and subscribe before I played that. But you know, I'm just now getting used to hitting the buttons the right way on the back side of this. Good morning. Oh, Agile Sensei. Thank you for coming by. Good morning to you as well, or good afternoon, as it were. Goodbye, Good Girl Project. Lori's in the house. And so yeah, we've got a lot of and we've got a bunch of people in the house. I am so blessed to see you guys. So you know, one of the things that I try and do at the beginning of the show is kind of checking in on everybody's energies. So we have a segment called How Charged Are Your Nuts? So this morning's How Charged Are Your Nuts is on a scale from 1 acorn to 10 squirrels. How charged are you for change today? 1 acorn to 10 squirrels. How charged are you for change? And I know that there's people who are doing amazing change in the world and amazing change for themselves right now. So, wow. We've got Lori rocking it with 10 squirrels, 2 websites in 1 week. Whoa. And Oh, I knew exactly who this was, Agile Sensei. 15 15 squirrels or 15 pieces of 15 pieces of popcorn. I think it's 15 pieces of popcorn. We've got Todd in the house with an 8. And Ollie got 8 pandas going on. Uh, Jessica's got 99 rabid squirrels. You guys are filling me up with energy this morning. I am loving this. Yes, not only a great name, Lori, but he is the founder behind an amazing platform that I have been playing on. And if you've been to my coffee, you've been to the platform. So, Agile Sensei is I'm just tickled to see everybody this morning. Everybody. And those who are in the comments who I don't see. I'm glad to see you too. So I want to I'm going to have you know what? I'm going to have our guest come on first and then I'm going to do our next segment. So without too much more ado, I want to bring on my friend Alita so that she can help me with this next segment called Crack This Nut. Welcome, Alita. I think I'm going back in my head. I think you are the first international guest I've had.
Woohoo!
I
Change.
know. I
Small.
think I literally just now realized that. So welcome to
Yay!
Show Me Your Nuts. How are you doing today?
I'm excellent. Thank you very much. And I'm so privileged to be here.
So
I'm energized.
I was gonna say, so like on a scale of one acorn to 10 squirrels, or whatever thing you want to put in there, paddle boards, yoga boards, bowls. What how charged are you for change today?
Let's mix it and let's say maybe doing a crow on a paddleboard in the harbor after playing bowls, lawn bowls.
Oh, a
That
crow
can take some doing.
doing a crow on a paddleboard in the harbor. Now, you guys, she just gave us a bunch of hints of what some of her days look like. And if you know what doing a crow on a paddleboard in the harbor means, then give us an answer in the chat. And if you know what playing bowls are, give us some information in the chat. I know what they are, and obviously Alita does. But I want to play some guessing games with the audience this morning because why not? And there's also some other discussion going on in the chat too of people who know each other, Claudio and Ollie and all right, this is crack not Ollie. That's a bit Ollie puts, if you guys don't know, Ollie is the Breakthrough Show Network's linguist. And he speaks at least like 7 languages, I think, and puts together words faster than anybody I know. Cracknologing nuts. And he's from Belgium. So we've got Europe and South Africa in the house today. So Claudia says he doesn't have a clue what the doing a crow on the paddleboard in the harbor. And Lori is definitely an emotional linguist. And wants to know where you're from, Alita. And I thought I had said it, but
Yeah. Okay, let me explain. If you look at the map and you see Africa, and the most southern point of Africa, the very most southern point of Africa, that's where I live. It's a small place called Struisbaai, and it is near Cape Agulhas.
And didn't you say one day, you told me that there's another place who actually says they are?
Yeah, part of Cape Town. They
They
think they're
think
the
that
most
they're
southern.
the farthest south, and they're not. You guys are.
Yeah, you can check the rings on the map.
You can check the longitude and latitude, and you guys are the farthest south.
Correct.
And okay, so Lori's got some points. I think it means you're paddling on a board in the water. Definitely. She's on a paddle board in the water in the harbor.
Yeah.
And she's doing so. Alita, you teach paddleboard yoga also, correct?
I do paddleboard yoga. I teach yoga on land.
So you teach on land, you do on water.
Yeah. And what it is, Laurie, is we have paddleboards in the harbor, and here's the trick: small things. We actually have weights on them, so they move, but they don't drift off to the ocean. So you have the movement, but you don't have to paddle to stay there. So we on the boards, and then we do yoga. So crow is a yoga pose, which you can.
So to me, like just getting up and standing up on it, it would be hard. Like just getting up on top of the paddleboard might be a challenge for me.
And the water is fairly cold, but not that cold.
Yeah. So on the South Africa part, Claudio says when he went there, he was told a lie. We'll see, but now you know the truth, and you know Alita, so yeah.
Cape
So
Agulhas is the most southern point. Claudia?
Cape Agulhas is the most. So let's do this next. Let's do our next. I'm looking to see. I thought I had a segment screen for this, but let's do the crack this nut. So crack this nut is a challenge. So this is like an audience participation challenge. And since we've got some great participation going on, name one small change you know you would make, or you know you should make, but you keep avoiding. Alita, do you have, I'm going to think of one too. Do you have one, a small change that you know you should make, but you keep avoiding it? And I've got one that I've recently done that I thought was, wow, mine, I'll have to figure out. I thought mine was going to be easy, but then it was hard. And then I had to figure out how to make it easy again. So a small change that you know that you should make, or that you want to make for whatever reason. Because if we should all over ourselves. And apparently Claudio's wanting to come visit because he needs to go back to South Africa and go to the actual southern point.
Good idea.
Now you can meet Alita in person. I had a dream a couple weeks ago that I came there and we did get to meet in person. So, Ollie, you can choose you can use a nutcracker tool or whatever for this one. All right. Is this the small change? Quadrant 2, to use Stephen Covey language. Is that when it's been a long time since I've read Covey.
I think that will be do the important, not the urgent. Am I right?
That sounds, and actually, now that you say that, I'm going to have to go back and read Covey again because Covey because that's also, I wonder, did he base that on the Eisenhower matrix? Important but not urgent. So the Eisenhower matrix is a 4-quadrant, and one of the quadrants is important but not urgent. He did base it on that, Claudio?
Probably.
It would make sense. Oh, and Todd's saying yes. See, Todd and Claudio are just like, yeah. Wow. It's been a long time since I've read Covey. All right. Now I have to add something to the book list. Not that we, I need to start a book club over in Ripley. I want to start a book club. And I about productivity and about quantum things, like how we're all connected and those things, all the fun stuff, I've been wanting to start that book club for a long time. Maybe I will. All right. So I haven't seen yet, other than bringing up that it's quadrant 2. What is it? So we're still on the crack this nut. Name one small change you should make or want to be making, but you keep avoiding it. You want to make it, but you keep avoiding it. And Alita, you said you had one?
Yep.
Is this one you're working on or having recently worked on?
This is one that I just thought about.
Okay. Let me know. Do you want to go first or you want me to go first?
You can go first.
Okay. So mine is one that I recently made. So it's not like this is weighing on my head as of this moment. But it was getting back on the treadmill. So I did 90 days in a row on the treadmill for 10 minutes a day. Then I did 166. Then I hurt my knee. I took a long rest, and then I started in again, got 166 days. And then my knee started hurting, went on a trip, hurt my knee again. And I've been in physical therapy since then. So I've tried several times getting back on the treadmill, and I'd make it about 2 days in and my knee would hurt horribly. And I couldn't get past the 2 days. Well, the backstory to all of that is prior to April 1st of 2024, Stacy had never in her life done more than 6 or maybe 7 days of any kind of exercise in 1 week, let alone like ever. Like I could never sustain exercise of any kind. In fact, the word exercise I couldn't even say because it just filled me with such something like
trigger
resistance. It was such resistance. And so this is a long time coming of wanting to change it because I knew my body needed the thing for, health. I mean, something, right? And so for the fact that I got on there and did 90 days in a row was beyond amazing to begin with. And then that I wanted to do it again, even though my knee had hurt. Like the fact that I went from not being able to say the word to wanting to do it. And so then I've been back in that phase, wanting to do it, but I couldn't this time because of pain. Flash forward, I finally figured out, one thing I figured out was my shoes needed to be under my bed every night. It used to be that I'd put my laptop there. And then I got a second laptop, and now that I have a laptop that lives on the treadmill, so I couldn't do that anymore. Well, I could, but it's a pain in the butt to like unplug it and this and that. So I have a laptop that literally lives on the treadmill. So I had to figure out if I put the shoes next to my desk, I would put the shoes on and then start working and forget that I had the shoes on and then just kick them off and not get on the treadmill. So I finally figured out, wait a minute, if I put the shoes next to the bed, I will put shoes on in the morning. And here's the reason that works. I don't wear shoes in the house. I don't have shoes on right now. I have no need to have shoes on. So my brain would go, oh, you have shoes on. Why do you have shoes on? Oh, it's time to get on the treadmill. And 4 days in, it felt normal, and it felt like, "Oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing every day." And I've been back on the treadmill for over 10 days now. I'm being discharged from physical therapy next week, and I'm starting to talk with my friend Alita over here about how to do the best yoga to add to my treadmill. So that was a small thing. The first small thing was being able to say the word exercise. The next small thing was figuring out how to get myself to do it. The next thing is doing it more than 7 days in a row. And you see then how the story unfolded. It was one little thing that turned into a habit that then turned into the next little thing. And those things have made a huge difference in how much energy I have, how healthy my heart is now, how I go about my day. So I don't want to lead with that story and to say like that's the best story, because I don't think that's the case. But for me, it was a little thing that made a huge difference.
It's interrupting the pattern.
It's exactly what I had, and it's what I had to do. I had to interrupt the pattern of why do you have shoes on, which is weird that some little thing like that, we like figure out what our habits are, what, like instead of getting your coffee first in the morning, putting something in front of the coffee pot every night so that you do that thing, whatever it is, right? And you interrupt the pattern. It's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
What's your little thing?
My little thing is exactly that. I come to my study to do my own yoga practice, and then I have to sit down and start my computer so that I can get the online practice, the recorded thing to do. And then sometimes I look up and half an hour is gone. So before I leave at night, to have that on the screen. So I come in, roll out the mat, and start. And then before I start, have a few minutes to meditate, because once your day starts, you don't really stop to do that.
Is that not, I mean, that is so true. If you're in the audience, do you have to put the habit, or the, have you ever heard it, Alita, have you ever heard it called the eat the frog?
Yes.
The eat the frog is like, if you eat a frog first thing in the morning, you can do anything the rest of
the day is yours.
So you like take the hardest thing you've got to do and you call it eat the frog. And you put it at the beginning of your day. And like I do with putting the shoes, and then you put your computer, you put it on the yoga on it. How do you have yourself do the meditation part first? Do you have a trick for that?
Yes. So that's the thing that I need to add. When you said, is there something you want to do?
To add, right.
I also need to meditate. Because what I'm going to do, part of this whole awareness of interrupting the pattern is to be able to check yourself. How am I feeling? Similar to what you had to do, you feel so much better. So whether you feel like getting up and doing the treadmill or not, you just get up and do it.
Right.
That's it. So there are ways in which you can do it with a quick breathing meditation kind of thing. And I've developed something which I want to start teaching in a week or two. So I better practice what I preach.
Is that not? Yes. Because that comes through when you teach something to someone else. If you have been through the same or very similar struggle, then that comes through to your teaching. I'm going to see what the audience, what we've got with them too, while we're talking here is Ollie's talking about create the ravioli system. I love that. one and only ravioli system, which hopefully has words involved in it. Um, and yes, Sang, I did do 90 days in a row. Um, only going to the refrigerator 90 days in a row. Oh, what else we got? Um, we've got fun discussions here. Um, hook the laptop on the treadmill, no laptop. Ooh, I'm curious. Uh, I'm not sure what Ollie, I'd like to know what you meant by that one because I'm kind of curious. Saying wearing your heels in the house all day totally counts for something. Like for one, you have me going, "Oh my," like bowing because I can't wear the heels on out of the house, let alone in the house. Um, I would I'm stick putting myself up for a knee injury with that, tell you. Definitely the when you have a little thing that you put in place, the if this then that, it's if I see this then that, and it's training your brain. Um, thank you guys for all of the things.
The other thing
Praise.
one can do, Stacy, is I call it PNC.
Tell me
Pause.
more.
So something happens, there's a trigger. And you just for that millisecond, you allow your brain to come online, because we react with emotion.
Mm-hmm.
So quick pause.
Mm-hmm.
And then you name, what am I feeling right now? Quick, quick, quick. And then you choose to respond, not to react.
Pause.
So pause,
Name.
name, choose. PNC.
PNC. Pause, name, and choose. I just put that one in the chat because I
Correct.
think that's super worthy of remembering and keeping. And yes, Alita is definitely a woman after your own heart. Sang is who I call her the queen of pause because that's one thing she has taught me in the last several months. Um, she frequently reminds me, not always directly, sometimes just by hearing her talk about it, by pausing. They talk a lot on there's a or one of our sister shows here on the Breakthrough Show Network called Rise and Shine, blah, 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 words, Rise and Shine Sundays.
Right.
And so it is an awesome show where they bring a question to the group and the world. And then whoever is there that morning comes in and they have a group discussion about it. And Sang is like the group dictionary. She's brilliant at like, okay, I'm going to look the word up and I'm going to I want to figure out the meanings of the words that way so that put us all on the same page. So it's pause, look it up in the dictionary, then name it as each of us, and then choose. And Ollie is also a frequent guest on Rise and Shine Sundays, and he brings his linguist powers into that group, as well as life experiences. Everybody brings their life experiences. It's a really cool show. You guys need to check it out on Sundays. For you, Alita, it would be Sunday afternoon,
Okay.
probably. So pause, name, and choose, similar to SOS. Ollie says, stand back, observe, and steer. Anna! Oh my gosh. Good to see you here, Anna. Um, dear friend from a place way back in the day, Blab I am, may it rest in peace. But a place where community happened, and people that I've known for 15 years. Anna being one of them. Welcome, welcome. Um, and yeah, Sang loves the words. Sang loves the pausing in the words. So pause, name, and choose. That's a great example of a little thing. Well, actually, really of three little things. but together, even together, they are still a little thing
Mm.
that you can put in place to change things.
Correct. Correct.
Pausing, seeing how something feels in your body, see how you can name. So would that make it 4? Pause, feel, name, and choose?
No, you name that feeling.
You name so it's naming the feeling. Okay.
Naming the feeling.
Um so if everybody were to pause right now and just sense into what is it you feel in your body about anything, and then name it, and then you can make a choice of what to do with it. So when I paused just now, I had a sensation in my stomach that was contentment.
Mm.
And I think, and my choice with it is to ride that wave as long as I can. What did you end up with?
I paused and I thought I had a feeling of gratitude.
Ooh. Where did it come
And
up?
sort of here in my solar plexus.
That's almost where my contentment came. Same place.
Yeah, a bit of gratitude and gratitude for being here and for you bringing people together.
Oh,
And thinking it's so nice to be here.
and then I just got all over. What is it? I heard somebody call them the other day. Not just like when you have over a bottle goosies. They called them goosies.
Yeah.
They were talking about goosebumps, but they called them goosies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which just kind of makes you giggle, right? Sang's got focused, calm. And then Anna's helping me. Yes, Blab, class of October 2020, 2015-16. May it rest in peace. But Anna, you need to come see the new place that we're playing, because it's I'm putting a shameless plug for my bar in the chat. You need to come see the new place we're playing, because it is bringing back the beautiful that we knew there. That's all I'll say. And if Claudio's still in the audience, thank you, Claudio. Thank you for the place. Ollie's got goosies and he's got us. Yep.
Ollie
You
wants
gotta
to
love
cook.
Goosies is just hilarious. So let's see. Oh, there goes the boss. Thank you, sir. Thank you. The fun place to play is, in fact, well, I'll put it here because I don't have a different way to put it. I'm gonna do a plug for our new place we're playing. So there is the amazing place. Anna, you've got to check that place out. It will bring you back memories and more so. That, or just send me a message. Yes, Ripley for the win. Ripley for the win. Talk about, actually that I'm going to use it. I'm going to segue it. Because small drops in water, little things, small things, make big impacts.
Yep.
So one little bitty drop in the water creates ripples.
Correct.
And ripples, and also more than one drop together creates community, and more than one drop together creates oceans, And water, from a native sense, one of the descriptions when I first came into learning my own native spirituality, we would discuss how water is life, because we can't have life without water, and we can't
We
have life without other humans either.
we're 70% water.
We are, is it 70 or 90? It's 70.
70.
70, yeah. So like physically we can't live without water. Emotionally we can't live without each other. And therefore, if you have drops in a space, in a room, you can't, you have that connection of human droplets to be a community and sustain each other with life. That right there, in a nutshell, is Ripley. That in a nutshell is Ripley to me.
Oh, Ollie says 80%. We were both wrong.
Oh, well, you know what? Or we were both right, and Ollie got us knocked out. He helped us move it to the middle. You said 70, I said 90, and it was 80. So we were all right. Anna, yes, I am live on, I'm actually live over on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And if you go to showmeyournuts.live, that will give you not only Show Me Your Nuts space, but it shows the Breakthrough Show Network, which is the network the show is on. And you can find out about the other shows like Rise and Shine Sundays. Project Joy is live 3 mornings a week. The Breakthrough Show, I can't remember the schedule for a bit, but I know it's Fridays. And Beyond 2D is an amazing show where they really break down words and meanings and things. They get into some deep discussions. And Spirit Sessions on Sunday morning. So, and there's lots of really cool shows on the Breakthrough Show Network. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take a quick break for you guys to see a little bit about those shows. And Alita and I will be right back to talk more about how little bitty things turn into big things.
Breakthroughs are about more than you might think. They're about discovering who you are, digging deep, reaching to the core of your soul. They're about healing yourself, understanding your beliefs, creating a ripple effect. And it's not just those initial moments that matter. It's about using them to bring more joy into our own lives and the lives of others. It's about having fun, letting loose, enjoying every moment life has to offer. It's about finding a safe space. It's about creating connection. Join us each and every day for exclusive programming, special events, and a community to call home, where we invite you to explore, change the way you look at and live your life, and go beyond the breakthrough. So we ask you, are you ready? We'll see you online at thebreakthroughshow.com.
Jessica makes the best commercials ever.
Amazing.
She knows how to put the video thing together with the like how it goes. I try and well, they don't end up like that. They don't end up exactly like that. Um, but I love that. That's part of like being community. Each of us has little talents that are different than the others,
Correct. And to
and we,
understand who can do what.
yeah. Well, and then we can bring it together to like do, even if we
Mm-hmm.
have talents that are similar, it's really cool when you bring it together because yeah, you and I are both coaches and we both do coaching different ways.
100%.
So one
Uh,
client could get lots of things from both of us.
Correct. Correct. And to come back to the small changes, sometimes we are so on autopilot that we don't realize we need those changes.
Ooh.
Say, I work a lot with couples. The conflict is not the situation. The conflict is the reaction.
Ooh, keep diving into that one.
So,
Because that's such a little thing that we sometimes overlook.
correct. And you hear someone say, whenever he or she does this, it freaks me out. Or so that the reaction is autopilot. If you just introduce something like in pause, name it and choose, and you react differently.
How do you
Complete different outcome.
remember to do the pause? That's my question.
The awareness of the trigger, that millisecond, because now remember you have to become aware.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know, you don't know. You won't do anything.
If you don't know, how can you know?
Exactly. So what we as coaches often do, we actually shed the light on an area where someone needs to know. They find and they become aware. So the awareness is step one, is having that awareness, and then you can do the pattern interruption.
So, and that's to me, I think that's one of the challenges though, because it happens in that millisecond.
Yeah.
The learn and I actually have an idea because I have an intervention that I use to help people catch the millisecond. And I wonder if here we go. All right, live on Show Me Your Nuts. Let's see what happens when we take one of Stacy's interventions that she uses and one of Alita's interventions that she uses and put the two small things together and see whether it could make a big change for people. Are you game?
Absolutely.
All right. So we already know pause, name, and change. I'm going to introduce breathe, or I'm going to introduce trigger, breathe. And what I mean by that is I teach people how to create a mantra of they pick one word that means whatever their trigger is. So what was it you said? Freaks me out is what the person would say, right? So maybe that person, I would say, okay, use the word freak or freak out and the word breathe. And what I have them do, nothing else for the rest of the next week, their homework is to take the word freak out and breathe and put it on a sticky note or the background of their phone and just speak it over and over and over. Every time they see the sticky note, they would say, freak out, breathe, freak out, breathe, freak out, breathe, freak out, breathe, as many times as they can until something maybe distracts them, and that's okay. And then the next time they see the sticky note again, and what they're doing is connecting those synapses in their brain between the word freak out and the word breathe. So frequently I'd have people where they'd say angry, breathe, angry, breathe. Mine, the first time I ever did this personally, and I remember it vividly, was chomp breathe. Because every time my brother would try and eat his be eating cereal, and it would be that, it just, and like I'd skyrocket, right? So the first time I ever did this thing, and I did it just as like, let me try and see if I can change my brain. And then later it turned into something I use with clients, but it was chomp, breathe, chomp, breathe. And again, when I have clients with this, sometimes they might not want their partner to know what their word is. They take a picture of what the word of their trigger means. So they take a picture, and then they take a picture of something that means the word breathe to them and put that as a background on their phone. And so every time they see it, they would repeat the words in their mind over and over, quietly to themselves or whatever. Although there is something about actually verbalizing it and having the frequency run through your body of the verbalization, but repeat it over and over. Then the second week, I teach them box breathing, which is 4, 3, where you breathe in through your nose, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it, 4, 3, 2, 1. Out through your mouth, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you do the whole thing 4 times. So then the second week they do the breathing as a practice, and then the third week we put it together and go, okay, every time you say the thing, then put the word. And to me, that exemplifies being able to be aware of the trigger. It makes them more aware of the trigger, of that the trigger means pause.
Exactly.
And it slides right in to what you do. Because, and so what I would like to do next time I have a client who I'm working with this on is, instead of just teaching them to breathe, then after we teach, they get to the point where it's automatic, and every time they think they're freaking out, they think, oh, breathe. Then I teach them that's the pause.
Yep. And
then teach them to name. Then teach them to
choose. Yeah. Now here's an interesting one, something I teach couples as well. Whenever you walk into the room, this is very small. Whenever you walk into the room and you see your partner, smile. And I will say to them, the first few smiles may be a grin, but when you move the corners of your mouth, your brain thinks you're happy. I did that.
Oh, okay, you guys. Alita with the mic drop right there. When you
can take a pen and and your brain will think you're smiling. See,
oh my God.
Immediately. So here's what you do. You walk in, you smile. It lifts your mood. Your brain goes, woohoo. And that person thinks, oh, he or she likes me. Small, huge impact. Huge.
So if we put everything together, we've got freak out, breathe, pause, name, choose, smile. And that changes the entire interaction.
Correct.
Now, like I was saying, is, it takes 3 or 4 weeks for me to go through this with people, because to me, you put one, I don't know if you do this, 21 days to make a habit.
Correct.
And so literally we work on this over time, not just because we're doing one little thing at a time, but because if you do the thing, practice the thing, kind of like putting the shoes next to the bed for a treadmill. If you practice the thing for at least 21 days, and really, I personally round mine up to 30, just because why not? It's easier to put on the calendar that way. Which also speaks to habit trackers that people use in their calendars. You put something in place, one little thing in place, just one thing in place for the month. Don't put 16 things, because what's going to happen with the 16 things?
It's overwhelming, nothing.
And then nothing happens. You end up shame. You end up with shame. You end up with guilt. You end up with frustration. You end up more upset. You're not smiling. That one's gonna get. I love that one. Everybody just put a pin in their mouth for a minute. And you can't help but even just thinking about it, you're gonna giggle. I've got another one that's also along those same lines. If you take your right hand and put it on your left shoulder, and then lift it, put it back down, lift it, put it back down. You deserve that pat on the back. Now take your left hand and put it on your right shoulder at the same time. Up, down, up, down. Okay. Now squeeze.
And you hug yourself. Self-love.
Guess what? Your unconscious mind doesn't know the difference between putting a pin in your mouth and smiling. It also doesn't realize that someone else is not hugging you. It knows that you're getting a hug. The same chemicals in your body get released when you hug yourself. Now, granted, yes, your brain knows that you're the one hugging, right? But if your body's getting the same chemistry, at least you're getting some kind of comfort. As Ollie says, squeeze a railing. Squeezes a railing. Anna, you can choose in the millisecond, react heatedly or respond or listen carefully. I think that's powerful. Super powerful. And she also says the conflict is not the situation.
Correct. It's not the situation, it's the reaction.
It's the reaction. The conflict is the reaction, and reactions can be changed.
Yeah, to response. Difference, reaction, response.
Alita, we have been through, we've done an hour and we've gotten lots of little small things, but certainly not all of the little things that I know you and I have loved. This is just this. I didn't even have to have a pin in my mouth to have joy today.
Me neither.
And of course, I looked forward to today all week because I knew that I was going to get to spend an extra hour with my friend Alita, and that we would bounce things back and forth. And I had a whole set of questions and such ready, but I also knew at the same time that once we got off on the topic, that we were just going to take it where we were going to take it. And I have adored having you here. I've got one question for you though.
Sure.
Will you come back?
Yes.
I want to do this again. And we take a different topic and we'll take it down the squirrel trail and do whatever with it and find out and show people, and what I really loved about today, I think, well, there's lots of things. I think the biggest one was the idea of putting each of our ideas together and coming up with, you just made my future clients' lives more rich today.
Yep. And you mine.
And when we come back, or the next time we see each other, which I suspect will be long before you come back here, we will probably have some more feedback on that, and we may even come up with something even better.
We together.
You helped me put several little things in to change, and it's going to change not just me, it's going to change lots of things. It's going to change all of my clients from here out. And I'm going to voice my gratitude now for them, because it's just powerful. Just powerful. And everybody in the audience today, everybody who's watching the replay, I would love to hear what you think of the little small things that Alita and I've talked, the ones that we've talked about, and small things that you have. I want to come back to this show and look in the chat and find that people have come back and listened to us and added their own things because I know that there's a bunch of people out there who could add some great little nuggets and nuts, sharing some more nuts with us. I have enjoyed you showing me your nuts, Alita, and I've loved showing you my nuts, and us sharing that, you don't have to do the big things.
Mm-mm.
It's doing the little things that turn into big things. You don't have to challenge yourself with the biggest thing in the world. You don't have to be overwhelmed with the big thing.
No.
In order to have big results.
Mm.
And the big results aren't always yours. Sometimes they are ripples that go out to other people. To me,
Correct.
those are the best. Those are the best.
Mm.
And
you don't always know your response, how that can ripple to someone else. And maybe years later, you hear something and you go, really?
Yes. Okay. This is how connected I feel to my guest today, you guys. She was just in my head because literally I was thinking that same thing and the biggest, coolest ripples are when you have somebody who's been a previous student, mentee, even colleague who comes or client who comes back to you weeks, months, and years later.
Mm.
I just caught up with one of my previous students on Tuesday and hadn't seen them for probably 5 or 10 years at least. And we were able to give each other feedback on how we impacted each other's lives. And those are the best. They're just the best.
They are.
Like Ali says, even years or decades later.
Yeah.
To be able to, I know that I was able to go back to my mentor even much later after she had impacted me. And now, unfortunately, she's passed on. But the fortunate part of that was she introduced me to her best friend years ago. But at her services, her best friend and I had exchanged contact information. We hadn't done that before. And now I'm in contact with her. And so in a way, we each have a piece of her with us because we're in contact with each other. And it's become a beautiful relationship. So you never know where the little things are going to come from that are going to impact you and how they're going to impact you. Mm-hmm. So speaking of little things is I have loved having you as a guest, and I want to have you back. I think I want to have a group of people and have us do a panel one day because there's room for 4 people on this stage. Maybe we'll get Todd in here, who was in the audience, and maybe my friend Lisa, and we'll have a talk about coaching because the 4 of us are all coaches. There are plenty more coaches than that, but we actually are all 4 connected to a the same coaching directory too, which could be fun. So
look at Ollie's comment. Thank you, Ollie.
Really amazing. Ollie's been on, you know what? Actually, Alita, you're not my first international guest, but you are definitely the first one from South Africa because Ollie was a surprise guest one day on Show Me Your Nuts. And now he's on several of the shows on Breakthrough Show Network. So, and because of that superpower of being able to put words together, Ollie's alliteration is also amazing. I try and keep up with him in the chat and do a few little putting words together myself, but I can't keep up with him. I'm just not that talented.
One last comment I just want to say is, they say the quality of our lives isn't what happens to us, but how we choose to react. And I want to change that. So the
Ooh.
quality of our lives isn't what happens to us, but it is what we do with that trigger.
It's what we do with what happens to us and the ripples we make with it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's the positive. The quality of our life is also the measurement of the ripples that we make out into the world. And we can make good ripples or bad ripples. And we don't always know which ones are which. We might think we're doing something good, but it turns out something that might harm or inadvertently even harm other people. So we've got to be careful with all of that. And those sound like really good topics for another show. So, Alita, before we finish, because this is really, really important. Before we finish, where can people find you if they want more information?
I have a brand new website. After something happened last year, small change, brand new, big impact, brand new website.
Okay.
It is,
and I believe we've got it in the comments, or not in the comments, in the show description.
I think so, yes.
But go ahead and tell us what it is, too.
It's www.azingenuity.co.za. Not com, co.za. So it's a South African.
.za?
ZA, sorry.
ZA.
This is a
no.
I must always trick myself.
I'm translating the Z because, our neighbors in the north, our neighbors in the upstairs apartment over here in this hemisphere, they use Z also. So I call us the downstairs neighbors that are a little bit loud and rambunctious. They're the upstairs neighbors that are also, AZ Ingenuity.co.za. Thank you, Ollie. Ollie put it in the chat for us. There we go.
Thank you.
Co.za. I like Z better. I think Z should be more popular here in the States, but that's just me. I appreciate you greatly. I anticipate and am excited for the next time you're back for Show Me Your Nuts. And everybody else, have an amazing weekend. I'll see you next week for more. I don't even remember what next week's topic is. But I know that it will be, I'd say a rabbit hole, but it's really a squirrel maze of some sort.
It will be awesome.
It will absolutely be incredible and fun, because it always is. So I will see everyone next week. Alita, I will see you soon. And thank you again for being with us today.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for everybody who came and joined us. It's been a privilege and a huge pleasure. Thanks, Stacy.
Oh. See you guys next week.
Thank you for joining us on this nutty adventure. Remember, personal growth and wellness are journeys best taken together. Keep exploring, keep growing, and don't forget to show me your nuts next time.